Hello guys! How's everyone doing? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're checking out the Tales of Herding Gods episode 58 spoiler. This part gets pretty interesting, so I thought, why not share it with you guys? Alright then, let's jump straight into the story.
Man, the whole ship was losing it. And honestly, I get it. When a storm of killer bugs hits you out of nowhere, who doesn't panic? The coxswain was doing his best, but the poor guy had to steer the ship too. Hard to save everyone when you're also trying not to crash straight into the ground. Now, Three Wonders Castle, yeah, they don't play around. They've got their own three wonders: bugs, medicine, and beautiful women. And trust me, all three are dangerous in completely different ways. Even Consort Che, the royal palace beauty, yeah, she came from that place. Their doctors are famous too, but famous for using poisonous insects as medicine. Weird flex, but okay. And out of those three wonders, the biggest one? The insects. Their insect army is the stuff of nightmares. Tiny, fast, vicious. Their healers are also poison masters, so imagine that skill turned into an entire army. After they got absorbed by the Empire, the Emperor literally made them turn their insect handling skills into military power. Good idea at the time, until they rebelled. And guess what? Yeah, we sailed right into the middle of a battlefield between the Imperial troops and a wave of killer bugs. Great, just great, I thought. Qin Mu definitely thought the same, because the moment those golden insects started swarming toward him, I could feel his scalp crawling. He split his focus, sword in one hand, vital chi raging in the other, and boom, suddenly this guy is forming a blazing red sun out of pure chi threads. Like, what? I had to blink a couple times. Yuyan Imperial Studies Sunset Sword Skill. And wow, it lived up to the name. The fiery orb spun, burst apart, and shredded the incoming insects instantly. Bodies everywhere. Meanwhile, his sword flashed once, twice, and just like that, soldier down. Even the coxswain couldn't hold back. Superb sword skill. Then he finally jumped into the fight, pulled out this fire bottle gourd, and when he opened it, I swear I wasn't ready. A 9-headed fire phoenix shot out. 9 heads, all of them breathing fire. It wrapped around the entire ship like some kind of flaming guardian beast, and everything that tried to get close just turned to charcoal. I found myself whispering, okay, that's kind of badass. Qin Mu noticed too, the guy had real cultivation, definitely 7 stars realm level. But the bugs weren't done. Another golden wave rose up, and this time, a woman in military armor was standing right in the middle of it, pointing like she was conducting an orchestra of death. The coxswain chuckled under his breath. Second wonder, the girls sure are pretty. And he wasn't wrong. She looked dangerous and gorgeous at the same time. He sucked the phoenix back into the gourd, shook it, and suddenly the thing expanded into this massive iron monster. The suction that burst out was so strong, it vacuumed the entire insect swarm straight inside. 1 round of runes and hand seals later, poof, bug ashes. Qin Mu's eyes were shining like he'd just found a new favorite teacher. And honestly, I get it. The coxswain clearly knew his stuff. Then the woman recognized him. Fire Bandit Fan Yun Yao? You? A coxswain now? And boom, panic. Every merchant and official on the ship pointed swords at him immediately, because apparently this dude used to rob merchant ships for a living. Fan just spat, turned good. What kind of nonsense? The woman exposed his whole criminal history like she'd been waiting to do it for years. Dao sect kicked him out, he became a bandit, robbed people everywhere. You get the idea. Fan just shrugged. Look, I only rob during peaceful times, okay? During chaos, being a coxswain pays better. I honestly didn't know what to say to that. The woman didn't want to waste her energy on him though, so she retreated with her insects. Fan exhaled hard, then told his assistant to get the ship moving. But the merchants, still terrified, which was fair.
They'd escaped an insect army to find out they were riding a ship run by a legendary bandit. He kept insisting, "I've turned good, really. Even the ship's registered in the capital." One official muttered, "Isn't this the cloud-chasing pirate ship?" Fan grinned, "Passenger ship now, pirate ship later, when the world's peaceful again." Not the reassurance people wanted. Then he walked over to the poor merchant who'd been eaten hollow, literally hollow, and apologized like it was his fault personally. "I can't take your fare after this." Gave them their money back too. People were still shaking like leaves. He turned to Kim Yu next and complimented his sword skills and started ranting pretty passionately about how people don't study enough, how cultivation is studying. And honestly, the guy made sense. Ken asked the obvious, "So, you became a bandit after Dao sect kicked you out?" Fan slapped his thigh like he'd just discovered a hidden truth. "Exactly! That old Douse master must have known I was destined to become a bandit." Kinmyu had no words. Then someone popped up from below deck yelling, "Robber Baron, our furnace is broken." Fan sighed. "Stop calling me Robber Baron! I've turned good!" But the furnace had exploded, thanks to that insect woman earlier. That was bad. Really bad. Without the furnace powering the ship, they were going to fall from the sky. Just as everyone panicked, Kinmyu stepped forward again. "I know forging. Let me try." Fan didn't completely believe him, but he followed. Flames everywhere, bandits scrambling to put out the fire, and the ship already dropping altitude. Kinmyu got to work instantly, one hand smelting iron with vermilion bird vital chi, the other cooling and shaping it with black tortoise vital chi. It was like watching someone forge a masterpiece at triple speed. Even the bandits stopped staring. The ship lurched, started falling, and Fan had to run back out and summon the 9-headed phoenix just to hold them up, straining to keep the entire ship airborne. And down in that flaming hold, Kinmyu kept forging, and that is where everything hung by a thread. Time kept ticking, and honestly, Fan Yongzio looked like a guy trying to hold up a collapsing building with his bare hands. His face was turning red, sweat everywhere, and the pressure on him was just brutal. Everyone on the ship knew it too. You could feel the fear spreading, because if Fan gave out, 10,000 feet straight down, no survivors, not a fun way to go. And just when he hit his limit, like literally right at the moment he was about to give up, the two bronze beasts at the back of the ship suddenly roared to life. Flames blasted out of their mouths, huge and wild, and the whole ship jolted so hard I swear my heart skipped. Then boom, we shot forward. Fan Yongzio exhaled like he'd just cheated death, pulled his 9-headed phoenix back into the gourd, and then realized the ship wasn't slowing. In fact, it was speeding up fast, too fast. The world outside turned into streaks, 3 to 5 times the original speed. That's not normal, I thought. He stared, stunned, and when Kinmu walked out of the hold like nothing happened, Fan blurted, "Brother Kin, what in the world did you forge down there?" Kinmu shrugged like he'd just fixed a loose hinge on a door. "I never saw the original blueprint, so I just made it. How I understood it might be a little different." And before Fan could even panic, the ship broke the sound barrier with another deafening boom. I flinched so hard. Okay, that's excessive. Fan Yongzio was thrilled though. "Who taught you smithing? With this ship, nobody can ever catch me when I go robbing." Kinmu suddenly understood exactly why Dao Sect called this guy a man of improper intentions. The little folks in Kinmu's backpack popped out and honestly asked the only logical question in the room. Why don't you just use this speed to run passenger trips? You'll make way more money." Fan stared at her like she just said the sky was green. "Why be complicated? Faster ship means faster robbing. I used to rob once a day, now I can rob 3 to 5 times. Robbing pays better. Peaceful times, more merchant ships. We rob. War times, less merchant ships. We ferry passengers. Little fox demon, you don't understand business." Hoolinger just gave up on speaking. Meanwhile, the ship started making these creaky noises, the kind of sounds that tell you something very expensive is about to snap. Fan freaked out again, pulling a couple bandits to reinforce the hull with key runes before the whole thing exploded midair. Kinmu looked worried too, and honestly, so was I, watching from this narrator seat. Thankfully, the ship held together. They crossed a few more battlefields on the way, but they were going so fast that both armies just froze. Like, what was that? The cloud-chasing pirate ship wasn't flying. It was teleporting. Even Fan Yingxiao was shocked at how powerful Kinmu's furnace was. A 7-day trip, now just a little over a day. The only downside? It drinks spirit stones and herbs like water. By the time they reached the capital early next morning, the ship slowed down like an exhausted horse. The spirit stones were almost gone, the herbs pretty much burned through. They finally descended into the vehicles and mounts market. The official on duty walked up, saw Fan Yingxiao, and instantly went pale. He was literally about to yell for constables when Fan threw his hands up. "I've turned good! Look, official paperwork!" The official checked it, blinked, and muttered, "Criminals like you should be executed, not hired." Fan just forced a smile. The Imperial Court is full of grace. I'm deeply moved. Kinmu was ready to leave when Fan swooped in, slinging an arm around him like an over-friendly uncle. "Brother Kin, what future do you have in Imperial College? Come with me, we can do big business. Zero investment, huge profit." Kinmu laughed it off. "Senior brother Fan, unlike you, Imperial College actually likes me. I'm a man of good reputation." Hoolinger backed him up, proudly. "Improper intentions? Young master? Never." Fan groaned, but he backed off. Fine, but with your talent, not becoming a bandit is honestly a waste. "Oh right, I stole a computational canon of supreme mystery when I left Dao Sect. You like algebra, right? Take it." Kinmu lit up instantly. "How can I accept such a precious linger? Take it." Hoolinger stuffed it away faster than you could blink. Fan explained how the canon helped open wisdom, how learning it allowed disciples to master the Dao Sword's 14 writings. He even bragged about reaching the 5th writing before getting kicked out for being a future bandit. Kinmu asked about a specific move, and Fan's eyebrows shot up. "You know that? That's the 1st writing. Easy compared to the rest. But if someone mastered the 14th writing, they'd become invincible. A god." Kinmu's heart tightened, imagining the power of the final writing after what he'd already seen from the first. After they said their goodbyes, Kinmu headed towards Imperial College. He wondered who the next Grand Chancellor would be now that the Patriarch had retired. He hoped it would be Chancellor Bashan, the only man passionate enough to reform the place. But politics rarely follow passion. He reached the mountain gate, and just as he walked through, something caught his eye. He stepped back. The dragon key Lin? Guarding the gate? The chains around its neck were gone, but it didn't move. Just stared forward, unblinking, muscles tight, like a statue trying not to breathe. Kinmu stared for a bit longer. Then the dragon key Lin growled. "What are you staring at?" Kinmu asked the obvious question. "The chain's gone? Why aren't you running? What are you still doing here?"
The Qilin answered in this low, tired voice, like a dog who's been told it's dinner time for the 100th time. "I've nowhere to go. People bring me food every day. I'm comfortable here." Q Hoolinger, all sparkle and mischief. "Big guy, is that really all you want? Just eat and nap?" The Qilin shot her a look that said she'd never understand. How would a fox demon know a Qilin's ambition? You wouldn't get it even if I told you. Hoolinger shrugged and smiled at Shinmu. "Don't bother with him. He's gone soft. Just let him be." Shinmu started up the path toward the mountain like he had places to be, and then out of nowhere the Qilin's voice went soft and small. "My old master retired and left with an old man. They just left me behind. I've been stuck here guarding the gate. The bull keeps beating me up, and now even a fox scorns me. I don't know what to do." Yeah, that landed. You could see the loneliness in him. Shinmu stopped, took 2 steps back, and honestly, who could blame him? He walked up close and said, plain and steady, "You were the Patriarch's mount? We're from the same sect. I'm the cult master." The Qilin stiffened, all eyes and old pride. "I don't know any patriarch or cult master. You paralyzed me, remember?" Awkward.
Mu tried to smooth it. When I fought Daozi of Dao Sect, I came with the Patriarch. You saw that. You know me. Then you paralyzed me, the Qilin repeated like he was reading from a script. Mu blinked. I only paralyzed you because you asked me to beat that bull and then... He trailed off because, honestly, explaining felt useless. The Qilin was not interested in nuance. It's better to bury grudges than fuel them, Mu offered, trying diplomacy. The Qilin snorted. You paralyzed me, so you owe me. Mu, for his part, tried to compromise. Okay, what if I bring the bull over and you settle it? The Qilin didn't trust him. Of course not. You gonna paralyze me again? He asked. Mu gave up and climbed the Yade cliff. Then, almost like a punchline, he glanced back. The Qilin, stubborn as a mountain, followed, step for step. When Mu paused, the Qilin paused. When Mu leapt up the cliff, fire clouds bloomed under the Qilin's feet and he followed, big body carried up like he was trying not to look needy. Mu turned, half amused. Why are you trailing me? I only paralyzed you once and took some dragon saliva. Do we need to hold a grudge forever? The Qilin's answer was blunt. You paralyzed me, so you must feed me. Hold up. Didn't he just say people feed him every day? Mu raised a brow. The Qilin dropped his head, voice small. Old master used to bring me meals. When he left, no one did. The new Grand Chancellor thinks I'm a rock. The other directorates think I'm a rock. I'm too proud to beg. I haven't eaten in over a month. The bull brags that Chancellor Bashan backs him and says I cheated his feelings. You could see it. Wounded pride, not just hunger. Mu felt that tug in his chest. Sympathy, annoyance, responsibility, all of it jammed into one moment. Fine, he said, practical. You can follow me. I'll handle your meals. What do you even eat? The Qilin's list sounded expensive in a cinematic way. Water from Yade Dragon Lake and 1 bucket of Scarlet Fire spirit pills every day? Cue dramatic intake of breath. Hulinger's eyes widened, Chinmenu's fists clenched. Yade Dragon Lake, that's serious water. Pure ki collected from 9 dragons. But a bucket of Scarlet Fire spirit pills every single day? That's ridiculous. It would drain any wallet in a week. Hulinger whispered, we can barely feed him for half a month with what we've got. The Qilin overheard and quickly bargained, okay, I can starve a little. Half a bucket a day. 1 liter. No less than 1 liter. Mu immediately waved that down. I speak apothecary. I can refine Scarlet Fire spirit pills myself. It'll save money, but I'm not raising you for free. The Qilin's face flipped between indignation and relief. You paralyzed me. We're from the same sect. You're the cult master. You have to feed me. I'm the Patriarch's mount. Mu's head throbbed. He pushed back with one last businesslike clause. You have to give me some dragon salada every day. A little, or I'm only giving you half a bucket. The Qilin blinked, suspicious. Dragon saliva? He echoed, like the phrase had no context. When Mu clarified, yes, that saliva, the Qilin relaxed, evidently thinking it was something else. And you said you wanted me to beat that bull, right? The Qilin reminded. Mu smirked. Don't ask for the moon and then complain about the cost. Half a bucket, and don't get greedy. That shut him up. With a resigned, somewhat sheepish gait, the Qilin fell into step behind Mu, as if he'd found a stable meal plan and didn't plan on letting it go. Hulinger kept glancing back, still amazed. When the Qilin stood, he towered over Mu, whiskers drooping past his head, tail long enough to make a small parade. 40, 50 feet? Maybe more. Runes ran across his hide like natural armor, gleaming with a quiet, ancient power. No wonder he eats so much, Hulinger muttered. Imagine his true form. Mu led him to Yade Dragon Lake first for a long drink.
Watching the Qilin lap at water made him think not about heroics, but about spreadsheets and costs. Dragon saliva, he realized, is a medicine commodity. I don't even know how much a little bottle is worth. If it's valuable enough, maybe it'll cover our herb costs. Or maybe this whole plan will bankrupt me. And there it was. The quiet, human calculation after the grand fantasy. Will this new companion cost more than he's willing to spend?
The dragon Qilin finished gulping down water, lifted his huge head, and looked at Qinmu with these big, pitiful eyes. I'm still a little hungry. Of course he was. Qinmu sighed the way a broke college student sighs before buying overpriced textbooks. All right, come on, let's go refine some pills. So he led this giant, starving house pet that could destroy a village over to the warehouse. Meanwhile, across Yade Dragon Lake, a Taoist had been watching the whole thing like a nosy neighbor peeking out the window. The dragon lion moved. Why is it drinking Yade Dragon Lake water? And who's that kid? Doesn't he know this water is for the royal family? Meh, as long as he's not bathing in it, it's fine. Qinmu kept walking, passing Royalty Park, and immediately felt the energy shift. The place was packed. Scholars shouting, divine arts kids climbing over each other, the crowd so thick it looked like a festival. Then, boom! Someone shot straight into the sky like they'd been uppercutted by a giant. The guy landed headfirst into the ground, legs twitching. Qinmu winced. That looked like a prince. Who's bold enough to smack royalty that hard? Before he could get an answer, another boom shook the air. This time, a girl in green came flying backward, slammed into the wall of Hidden Light Hall, and stuck there with only her legs dangling out. Qinmu blinked. That's definitely a princess. And those moves? Oh, he recognized them immediately. Those look like Chancellor Ba Shan's battle spells. Ba Shan's style was unmistakable. Raw power mixed with spell work, like someone took martial arts and magic, tied them together, and taped a turbo engine on top. It was strong, but also kind of rigid. Ba Shan had become a sect master level powerhouse with it, but even he couldn't push the technique further. Could it be Sister Yushu fighting in there? Qinmu wondered. The dragon Qilin stumbled behind him, looking more dead than alive. Belly caved in. Hunger was beating every other instinct. Qinmu forced himself to skip the fight and headed into the warehouse. The apothecary took one look at the enormous creature looming behind Qinmu and almost dropped the herbs. On the way back, Qinmu was already analyzing ingredients, refining one furnace of scarlet fire spirit pills as he walked. The Qilin practically inhaled them and was still hungry. Qinmu baked another batch, finally enough to fill the giant. Suddenly energized, the Qilin trotted beside him with a goofy grin. You need anything from now on? Ask me. I'm great at fighting. Hulinger snorted. You? You don't even dare fight a bull. The Qilin wilted instantly. When they reached Royalty Park again, the crowd had doubled. People were whispering everywhere. Is there no one in Royalty Park who can beat her? Ever since the 7th princess came back from her travels, she's like a whole new person. She's using Ba Shan's battle spells and 9-Dragon Monarch technique. No wonder she's sweeping all of Royalty Park. Could she block Scholar's residence too? I doubt it. The devil in Scholar's residence is on another level. He's been gone for 3 months, probably died outside. Honestly, good riddance. That devil was trouble. Just then, out of the way! The crowd turned and every jaw dropped. Because the dragon Qilin, this mountain of scales and runes, was shoving people aside like they were pillows. Scholars flew out of the crowd flailing, kids screamed, and even the princes and princesses inside the park froze, staring at this half-dragon, half-Qilin monster, making a path for one single person. Qinmu.
The Keelan shook his mane proudly, tail swishing. "Young master, these visually impaired mortals have cleared the way. Please, after you." Chinmu's face went red. "Too flashy. Way too flashy. Don't do that again. Senior brothers, senior sisters, sorry, coming through." Everyone just stared, stuck between awe and trauma. Chinmu finally looked toward the center of Royalty Park, and there she was, Ling Yushu. She'd sealed her 5 elements divine treasure, moving fast and precise as she fought Prince Manhua. But honestly, the poor prince didn't stand a chance. A few moves and he went flying. Then she burst her divine treasure open. 9 dragons spiraled around her like a storm crown. She stood there glowing with strength, confidence, and pure royal ferocity. Chinmu felt his breath catch. She'd grown so much since the Roland's Golden Plaza journey. Her 9-dragon monarch technique was sharper, her foundation solid. Bashan had tailored her training perfectly, guiding her weaknesses. And now she was dominating everyone. But Royalty Park itself? Yeah, it looked like a war zone. She had basically torn the place apart. Chinmu shook his head and muttered under his breath, amused. "The one who herds cows."
Ling Yukshu spotted Chinmu the way someone spots sunlight after days of rain. Her whole face lit up. She waved off the bruised and exhausted royalty around her, smiled like she hadn't just bulldozed half the park, and said, "All right, that's it for today. We'll fight again next time." Then she jogged over to Chinmu. Chinmu couldn't help grinning. "Sister Yukshu, I haven't seen you for a few months, and suddenly you're terrifying." She puffed her cheeks at him. "Where have you been? You made me worry." Then she lowered her voice, like she wasn't trying to broadcast something explosive, and Chancellor Bashan was worried too. "You don't know. The Grand Chancellor resigned, and the new one isn't Bashan. It's that guy who was sealed in ice, the one I rescued from Surging River Dragon Palace with little General Qin." Chinmu blinked. A man sealed in ice? His mind clicked instantly. Gulen Wan? Yukshu noticed all the eyes watching them, and her cheeks went rosy. She tugged Chinmu's sleeve gently. "Too many people. Let's talk in my room." Chinmu nodded, but then a blur dropped right in front of them. A young man, handsome and serious enough to make statues feel self-conscious, blocked their way. "Seventh sister," he said stiffly. "You can't just bring a man into your room. Use mine." Ling Yukshu's face turned crimson. Okay. The prince, Ling Yushu, gave Chinmu a smile so polite it was actually terrifying. "Scholar Qin, please." Chinmu had no clue what he did, but this prince was looking at him like he owed him money. Inside Ling Yushu's residence, the mood changed instantly. The place was beautiful. Elegant garden stones, gentle streams weaving under fake mountains, sunlight bouncing off everything in that I'm royalty kind of way. Way nicer than scholars' residence. Like, not even a contest. Palace maids walked around in perfect rhythm, each one graceful and, surprisingly powerful looking. They weren't just pretty, they were divine arts practitioners. Ling Yushu led them to a pavilion with an incredible view. A palace maid lit incense beside them, the aroma curling up in soft spirals. And somewhere nearby, a guqin started playing. Slow, thoughtful, like 2 old masters playing chess between notes. Chinmu let out a soft laugh. "Second prince, you're quite refined." Yushu's expression softened. "I should thank academician Qin for protecting my 7th sister at the Great Wall. She told me about everything that happened in Roland's Golden Palace. You saved her more than once. I'm grateful." Ling Yukshu cut in quickly, smiling. "Cowherd is amazing. I thought he died. I even cried in front of the shaman at Roland's Golden Palace." Yushu's eye twitched so hard it almost made a sound. "She cried? She didn't tell me that, and we met Cowherd's elders." She added proudly, "They liked me." Another twitch. "She met his elders? She didn't tell me that either." Then Ling Yushu shifted gears, excited. "Second brother, Chancellor Bashan is incredible. After training with him, I've improved so much. If he takes me and Cowherd out more often, even you won't be able to beat me." Yushu coughed lightly. "I asked around.
Chancellor Bashan is taking other reserve scholars next time. She deflated instantly. Then Yushu looked at Qinmu. His tone became formal again. Father appointed Gu Linwan as Grand Chancellor, and I've heard you have some conflict with him. After he took office, he even asked the directorates about you. Yushu jumped in helpfully, or unhelpfully, depending on who you ask. I know that story. Cowherd scammed Gu Linwan's junior protector sword, so he's still salty about it. Yushu sighed. Academician Qin, you should return the junior protector sword. Gu Linwan comes from the devil path. He's narrow-minded and vindictive. I won't speak against Father's decision, but his temperament is nothing like the previous Grand Chancellor. If you cross him, he will take revenge. I can arrange a meeting to help resolve things. For my sake, he might let it go. Qinmu shook his head. In Great Ruins, if you get scammed, that's just how it is. No refunds. Yushu gave him a thin smile. But this isn't Great Ruins, and he's the Grand Chancellor. It's very easy for him to make trouble for you. Qinmu thought for a moment and said calmly, I heard Gu Linwan claimed he was the junior protector of the Crown Prince. That means he taught the Crown Prince when he was young, right? Second Prince, do you think Gu Linwan will give face to you? Yushu stiffened. Qinmu leaned back slightly, voice still calm, but with a hint of sharpness. If he truly wants peace, I don't mind returning the sword and breaking my own rule, but I don't believe he'll let it go. Not even for your sake. And honestly, Second Prince, aren't you worried he'll cause trouble for you too? And that question hung in the air like a blade.
So guys, that was the episode 58 spoiler. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button and tell me in the comments which episode you want next. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!